1:15 hours. North Atlantic. The night over the North Atlantic was cold and silent. Waves moved slowly under a dark sky. No ships were visible for miles, just empty ocean. But far below the surface, something was already in position. 1:22 hours. Silent Intruder. A Russian submarine moved quietly through deep water. It was known by a chilling nickname, Black Hole. A diesel-electric submarine designed for extreme stealth. So quiet, it was almost impossible to detect. Tonight, it had crossed into sensitive waters near the United States. 1:28 hours. Beneath the surface. Inside the submarine, the crew worked in silence. Lights were dim. Voices were low. Every movement was controlled. The submarine was running on battery power. No loud engine noise, no detectable signature. It was nearly invisible to sonar. 1:35 hours. Mission objective. The captain studied a digital map. Ahead lay U.S. naval patrol zones, heavy surveillance, advanced detection systems, but the mission required precision. Approach undetected, observe, and test response times. Nothing more. Unless something changed. 1:42 hours. U.S. coastal monitoring. Along the U.S. coastline, underwater sensors monitored activity. Networks of sonar arrays scanned the deep ocean. Most signals were routine. Cargo ships, natural ocean noise. Everything appeared normal until a faint anomaly appeared. 1:46 hours. First detection. A weak acoustic signal emerged. Almost nothing. Barely noticeable. An operator replayed it again and again. Something didn't match. The sound was too clean, too controlled. 1:50 hours. Suspicion grows. More data came in. The signal appeared again. Still faint. Still difficult to track, but moving slowly, consistently. The operator marked it. Unknown contact. 1:55 hours. Analysis begins. Advanced systems began processing the signal, comparing acoustic patterns, filtering ocean noise, searching for a match. Seconds passed, then a possibility appeared. Confidence low, but rising. Russian diesel-electric submarine. 200 hours. The black hole identified. More data confirmed the suspicion. The acoustic profile matched known patterns. Ultra-quiet, low-frequency signature. The system displayed its conclusion. Kilo-class black hole submarine. The room went silent. 2:05 hours. Alert issued. Command was notified immediately. The situation escalated. A Russian submarine near U.S. waters, undetected until now. That alone was serious, but its purpose remained unknown. 2:10 hours. Naval response. U.S. Navy units were alerted. Nearby destroyers adjusted course. Surveillance aircraft were launched. A submarine already on patrol changed direction. All assets moved toward the contact zone. 02:18 hours. Inside the submarine. Back below, the Russian crew detected faint sonar activity. Very distant, very weak, but noticeable. The captain remained calm. They had expected this. He gave a quiet order. Maintain silent running. 2:25 hours. Disappearing act. The submarine reduced speed further. Systems powered down to minimum. Noise dropped to near zero. In this mode, it became almost impossible to detect. The ocean itself helped hide it. 2:32 hours. Expanding search above, U.S. aircraft arrived over the area. Sonar buoys dropped into the water, each one listening, each one scanning. A detection grid began to form. The hunt had officially started. 2:40 hours. Tension rising. Inside command centers, screens filled with data. Signals overlapped. Most were false, but one pattern repeated. Weak, slow, moving. The contact was still there. 2:48 hours. Close proximity. Updated tracking showed something alarming. The submarine was closer than expected. Much closer. Inside a sensitive monitoring zone. That changed everything. This was no longer observation. This was intrusion. Should 2:55 hours. Orders. Titan Command issued new instructions. Track and contain. Do not lose contact. Engagement was not authorized yet, but pressure was building fast. 03:05 hours. The hunt. Deepens. Destroyers activated stronger sonar. Helicopters deployed dipping sonar systems. The ocean above became active. Signals everywhere. Pings echoing through the water. The submarine was surrounded by sensors. 3:15 hours. Silent predator. Below the black hole. Submarine continued moving slowly, carefully, patiently. It had one advantage: silence, but above. The hunt was closing in. 3:22 hours. The net tightens, the ocean above the submarine came alive. More sonar buoys hit the water, destroyers moved into tighter formation. Helicopters hovered low, scanning the depths. A wide detection net was forming, and it was closing fast. 0328 hours. Faint signal returns. Inside a U.S. surveillance aircraft, an operator noticed something. A weak acoustic return, almost lost in background noise. He adjusted the filters, ran the signal again. There it was, the same low-frequency pattern. The submarine had not disappeared. It was still there. 0334 hours. Contact reacquired. Multiple sensors confirmed the signal. Different angles, different distances, same signature. The system updated instantly. Contact regained. The room shifted from uncertainty to focus. Now the hunt had direction. 340 hours. Inside the black hole. Deep below, the Russian crew detected new activity. More sonar pings. Closer this time, stronger. The captain understood immediately. They were being tracked. Remaining slow would no longer be enough. He gave a short command. Prepare to maneuver. 0346 hours. Speed versus silence. For a few seconds, the submarine stayed still. Then the decision came. Increase speed. The electric motors powered up. The submarine surged forward, but with speed came noise, and noise meant visibility. 0352 hours. Clear track. Above, the change was obvious. Sonar operators saw it instantly. The signal became stronger, more defined, easier to track. The submarine's path appeared clearly on digital maps. It was heading away from the coast, trying to escape. 358 hours. American submarine. Joins below the surface, another hunter entered the scene. A U.S. Navy attack submarine moved into position, silent, patient, listening. Within minutes, it picked up the target. The acoustic signature matched perfectly. The hunter had found its prey. 405 hours. Underwater shadow. The American submarine began tracking from a distance, maintaining stealth, matching speed carefully. The gap slowly closed. 20 kilometers, then 18, then less. The tension underwater was rising. 412 hours. No escape route. Above, destroyers blocked the northern path. Aircraft monitored the western route. The American submarine covered the deeper escape corridor. The Russian vessel was running out of options. Every direction was being watched. 418 hours. Command decision. Inside U.S. command, the situation was reviewed. The submarine had crossed into sensitive waters. It had been detected, tracked, contained. Now came the decision. Let it go, or send a message. 425 hours. Pentagon unleashes hell. The order was clear. Escalate pressure. Moments later, anti-submarine rockets launched from destroyers. Helicopters dropped warning depth charges. The ocean exploded with controlled blasts. Shockwaves spread in every direction. A powerful signal sent through water itself. 430 hours. Inside the submarine, the explosions echoed through the hull. Loud, violent, relentless. The crew held steady, but the message was undeniable. They were surrounded, they were exposed, and they were vulnerable. 436 hours. Final warning. More detonations followed. Closer this time, stronger. The captain watched the sonar display. Signals from every direction. There was no safe path left. Staying meant risk of real attack. 442 hours. Decision to withdraw. Silence filled the control room. Then the captain gave the order. Turn east. Full retreat. The mission was over. The risk had become too high. 448 hours. Retreat begins. The submarine changed course. Speed increased. Distance from U.S. waters slowly grew. Above, forces maintained pressure, but no direct strike followed. Control was maintained. 455 hours. Shadow until exit. The American submarine continued tracking, keeping distance, monitoring every movement, ensuring the Russian vessel did not turn back. The shadow followed for miles. 510 hours. Contact fades. Gradually, the signal weakened. Distance increased. The submarine moved beyond the surveillance zone. One by one, systems began to disengage. 520 hours. Aftermath. The ocean returned to silence. Destroyers resumed patrol. Aircraft returned to base. The crisis had ended without a shot fired, but the message was clear. 530 hours. Final thought. The black hole had proven its stealth, but the Pentagon had proven its reach. In modern warfare, even silence can be tracked, and the next encounter might not end without consequences. 0305 a.m. Fleet holds position. The carrier strike group did not relax. Not yet. Sensors remained active. Weapons stayed armed. Helicopters continued to patrol because even victory underwater demanded caution. 3:12 a.m., dawn approaches. As the horizon began to lighten, damage assessments rolled in. Minor hull damage on one escort. No critical systems lost, no casualties aboard the carrier. Against the odds, the fleet had survived intact. Later that morning, strategic shockwaves. The consequences rippled far beyond the Pacific. Two submarines, one Chinese, one Russian, had attacked a U.S. carrier together, and neither had returned. Governments reacted quietly, but urgently. Exercises were paused. Naval patrols intensified. Communication channels burned hot. This incident would not be forgotten. Military analysis. Experts would later agree on one point. This was not meant to sink the carrier outright. It was meant to test the limits of coordinated undersea warfare, to see how much pressure could be applied, how fast defenses could respond. The test failed tactically, but the lesson was learned by everyone. The Chinese and Russian submarines had attacked together. They had come closer than anyone in decades, but the carrier lived, and with that survival came a stark message of its own. Under the sea, silence is power, and tonight, silence belonged to the survivors. Torpedoes were fired, submarines were lost, the carrier endured, but the ocean would remember the night when two great powers tested America's most powerful fleet and learned just how unforgiving the deep could be.